to Talking Blue. I'm Matthew Mooney alongside Luke Langella. So it's been a week since we filmed our last episode. I want to talk about the Giants now. Like we're gonna talk about obviously yesterday they got some stuff done. They got Amani. How do you say his last name?
It's Oriarki, something like that. Or something like that. We got Tommy Sweeney, Jamison Crowder. We're actually close to Tommy Sweeney. We know of him, very familiar guy, so it's cool to have him there as a blocking tight end. Amani, a lot of upside to him. He's going to be our number 2, number 3 corner. I even saw number 1. People are looking at him as death. Go check back at his stats. He's electric with interceptions. That's why they brought him here. Couldn't get interceptions last year. He's your guy. Jamison Crowder, one of those slot guys. He's been around for, seems like forever, and he's always been solid. Matthew, get in depth a little about Jamison Crowder, Amani, and Tommy Sweeney's impact on the 2023 season.
I think Jamison Crowder, I think it was more of like a depth move. I think he's gonna be solid. He's probably gonna come into a few games at the very least. I don't think he's getting a whole lot of playing time, but he'll be there. If there's a big injury, which hopefully that doesn't happen.
I think injury too, but the Giants like to rotate their receivers. I think that's why you haven't seen them land D-Hop or Beckham, because they don't want to bring in guys that like their touches. We've seen that in the past. Guys get annoyed with the Giants. The Giants don't give you the touches. They really equally distribute the ball. So I think they're going to be constantly rotating. And another thing to realize, talking about Tommy Sweeney, the Giants run a lot of 2 tight end sets. So Bellinger, and you have Waller. You have a lot of 2 tight end sets. So that limits the amount of receivers you're going to have on the field, obviously. Talk a little about that, Matthew. I'm more in depth about some of these guys we signed.
I think the tight end core, is going to probably be the strongest position for the Giants this season, at least in the top 3.
I agree.
Because obviously Daniel Bellinger, he was proven to be a really good tight end this season, probably the best rookie tight end from the draft class. And now we're adding in Darren Waller. I know he's been hurt in the last 2 years, but I think he's gonna really explode this year and go insane.
And don't forget, Lawrence Cager had a really nice finish to the 2022 season. I'm not saying anything, but the Giants will rotate their players. They've been known to do that. They last year we saw Chris Myrick, Hunter Hudson. We saw Hudson, Myrick, and Bellinger, and they all got a decent amount of time. So we'll be expecting to see a third tight end get his touches. And I think Cager's an underrated guy. I really liked how he finished the season. He's one of those tight ends that can play in the slot really effectively. Reminds me a lot of Waller. So I think he has a lot of upside. Underrated guy. We'll watch out for him. Let's talk about Amani. This man, 2 years ago, 2021 season, 6 interceptions, got hurt. He was leading the NFL at that point. You watch his clips. Watch him make some of those interceptions. They're impressive. Have you seen those, Matthew?
Yeah, I was actually watching film the other day. I think he's going to be the number 2 corner on the team. And or possibly number 3 if we sign someone else, which I don't think is going to happen, or if we draft someone. But I'm feeling pretty good about Amani coming, because I think he's going to get the interceptions that we need. And last year we barely had any.
Yeah, it was disappointing. And we talk about scheme fit. We see that a lot in this Brian Daboll system, a lot of scheme fit. I want to talk a little about some of the additions and how they make sense. Leonard Johnson. Everyone's like, oh, why'd they sign this guy? Look at what he's known for. He's known for a blitzing corner. That makes sense. Wick Martindale blitzes a lot. Think about last year. No interceptions. Who do they bring in? They bring Amani. A lot of interceptions. Another guy we haven't mentioned yet, Bobby McCain. Very talented player. Extremely underrated. What can he do? He can blitz. He is a tackle for loss machine. It's why they brought him here. He forced a fumble on Darius Slane. Talented player. Excited for Bobby McCain too.
Yeah, I think he's going to be another really good addition. I think the best defensive addition for the Giants this offseason was Bobby Okereke.
Yeah. Off the board, he's one of the, I think he was one of the best on the market, and he has that ability to drop back in coverage. We haven't seen that, right? You look at what they've had is Jalen Smith and Mika McFadden just can't cover. It's a mismatch. Tight ends have done so well against the Giants. I'm ready for a change.
Yeah, I think tight ends are going to start to struggle a little bit now that we have Okereke as one of our middle linebackers. And speaking about middle linebackers, I want to talk about the draft this year. I don't necessarily think the Giants are going to draft a middle linebacker first round, but I would say the top three middle linebacker draft prospects this year um are Clemson, Trenton Simpson,
Yep.
Noah Swell from Oregon, my favorite Ducks player, and Jack Campbell from Iowa.
I actually have. I'm going to disagree with you on that. My top three, I got Drew Sanders in there, Arkansas / Alabama.
He's up there as well.
transfer. He's solid too, but he's a little undersized. But I was reading something about Trenton Simpson, a little interesting. I want to share with you. I think the reason why I could see them take him in the first round, if you saw, he could play all three levels of the ball. He could play safety, he could play middle linebacker, and he could play defensive end. That's impressive.
He'd be really good to have, like another hybrid like Landon Collins.
And Clemson has done this before. Well, Landon Collins isn't on the team right now, so we'll have to see. But think about Isaiah Simpsons, and Clemson has done this before. They've ruined these safety linebacker hybrids. Think about how effective they've been. So, yeah. I think he's a guy of interest. Staying on the draft, we've seen centers a lot in the highlights, and the Giants need a center. You know, I saw something Ben Bredesen possibly being groomed to be a center, but we need to draft someone. I think it's going to happen. Matt, who are we going to draft?
I say I don't know if there's necessarily anyone in the draft. There's this one Ohio State center that I think would be good to have.
I was going to say him too. I think he's a good second round player. So I think what really the real question is, I think we go center second round. You don't want to take a center first round. There's no talented guy. The real question I have is first, third round, who do we take? Receiver or middle linebacker? One's going in the first, one goes in the third. And that leads me to Jackson Smith-Njigba, Zay Flowers. Both have been going into a lot of meetings, a lot of dinners, a lot of big steak dinners with the New York Giants. Who would you rather have?
I'd rather have Jackson Smith-Njigba, but I think Zay Flowers would actually be like a really good addition to the team. I don't think JSN's going to be a late first round pick. I have him going 12th overall to the Texans.
I think out of the 5 top receiver prospects, Quentin Johnson, Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Jalen Hyatt, I think those guys are going to fall. They're not all going to get picked. So I think we got to see. We don't get Jordan. We don't get Quentin Johnson. We don't get Njigba. We still have Jordan Addison, Flowers. And I think Njigba's a good overall receiver. He's about 6 feet, 6'1", so he's solid size. I think the issue with Zay Flowers is he's another slot. We have a lot of slots right now, and I think bringing in a bigger guy and a more overall all-around player like Jordan Addison, Jackson Smith-Njigba would be a better choice for the Giants. Scheme fit better. That's my opinion. What's your opinion on that, Matthew? I've seen also Zay Flowers has had drop issues in the past.
Yeah, I don't think we should really go for another slot guy. I say we go for a big body outside receiver. I was talking about DeAndre Hopkins. So you saw that I texted you that picture, that thing from Twitter. I was scrolling and I saw that we could possibly give up a team would possibly have to give up a 5th and a 6th, which I think is stupid.
On that, actually,
yes.
Explaining it, I had to do it, and it was interesting. Now, at this point, I don't see it happening with all the additions. I think the Giants aren't looking to bring in a number 1 receiver, but it shows the potential of what you can get. Draft picks are valued very high these days, so you can get that for cheap. I think that'd be a good move. I wanted to talk about a few more things, a few more updates. I think me and Matthew wanted to talk about. Number 1, we launched our TikTok page. We're starting to get support. Talking Blue 5 TikTok. And it's pretty good. We post some really good content. I suggest you go check it out. I think we also posted a top 10 highlights video, the top 10 plays of the 2022 season. Really good. And we're soon coming out. Matthew is currently working on it. A 2022-2023 hype video, and it's going to be a good video. Hype video, getting everyone ready for all the season updates. Matthew, any closing statements?
That's really it, though. I think we really covered up everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to say, I know I posted this on the community page, but I will be doing a face reveal on draft night. So yeah, we really touched up on everything. Comment, subscribe, share this video with a few friends, and that's really it for the video. Also go follow our TikTok, what you said, Talking Blue 5.
Yeah.
Let's go Giants. See you in the next episode.
Go Big Blue. See you guys.